hindi ako makashare ng screen.
Chinat ko na po yung host doc. Wait lang.
Okay, thank you. So decrease ang FEV1 and FVC. Thereby, if you happen to compute for the FEV1 FVC ratio, it's decreased and it's more less than 0.7 or 70%. Okay? The question is, anong mas bababa ng value? Pareho silang mababa, no? Pero mas bababa ang FEV1 or FVC in COPD?
FEV1.
FEV1 is more decreased than your FVC. Okay? Don't forget that one. Okay? So, your FEV1 is more decreased than your FVC, thereby decreasing the ratio of your FEV1 FVC ratio. Do not forget that one because in your ILD, in a while, magkaiba yung magiging result niya in your FEV1 FVC ratio. Okay? So do not forget that one. Okay. Again, what's the problem in your COPD? Air that is trapped sa lungs and cannot move out. Tama? Yes?
Yes.
Okay. What's the primary treatment for COPD patients? What's the primary treatment for COPD again? Go back sa pathophysiology. Hello?
Bronchodilators.
Okay, very good, no? Bronchodilator. Most specifically, what bronchodilator is the first line? You have different bronchodilators.
Beta agonist po.
Sure? Sure?
Yes.
Beta agonist is the primary. So kung beta-2 agonist, what type of beta-2 agonist? You can be specific sama, ay saba, laba, ano? Ading John, I think ikaw ang sumagot kanina na beta-2 agonist.
Saba.
Sure? Saba, agree ba ang classmates? Sino ang nagdi-disagree na saba ang primary treatment for COPD? Sige, I'll help you adding John Anthony, no? Your saba is a reliever, a controller, or both reliever and controller?
Reliever po.
Reliever. Pero anong mas kailangan natin sa mga patient na may COPD?
Both po, Doc.
So dapat both a reliever and controller. So ano din ang primary?
Lama, Doc.
Lama. So very good, Lama, because Lama can be both
Can be
a
a controller
reliever
and
a controller.
reliever.
Yes. Okay. Di ba? Napag-usapan natin yan last week. So, ang inyong short-acting, may it be muscarinic antagonist and beta-2 agonist, they are just reliever. Okay? They can never be a controller. So, ang maintenance ng mga COPD patients nyo should be your long-acting. No? Specifically, your long-acting muscarinic antagonist. Mas better siya kaysa LABA na long-acting beta-2 agonist. Okay, I can share my screen now. Thank you, Ading Leyan. Don't forget that one, Ading John. Tama ba? It should be long-acting.
Yes po, Doc.
Okay, so you review again your notes, okay? So let's go for bronchiectasis. Okay, Your bronchiectasis, actually, it's a common disorder nowadays, and you just need to know what's the pathogenesis behind bronchiectasis. And it is part of your obstructive pulmonary disease also. I mean, it's not part of the COPD, but it's a form of obstructive pulmonary disease. Okay? Do you agree that it's a obstructive one? Yes or no? Okay. Before answering that one, I'll be defining bronchiectasis first. So bronchiectasis is an irreversible airway dilatation that involves the lung in either a focal or diffuse manner, categorized as cylindrical or tubular, which is the most common form. There are also other forms such as varicose or cystic. So again, what's the problem? It's irreversible airway dilatation. So, yung lumen ng airway mo is lumalaki daw. Okay. So, my question is it still an obstructive pulmonary disease? By merely taking note of the definition of your bronchiectasis. Anyone? What's your comment?
Yes, Doc.
It's an
Because it is irreversible po kasi.
Oh, how about kung sabihin ko, 'di ba nga mas gusto nga natin na bronchodilated yung airway para lumabas yung hangin agad and hindi mag-obstruct. So think about it. Okay, mapapaisip ka, no? Yes, no? Sabihin mo, o nga, no, dilated naman yung airway. Bakit nga, dapat nga mas makakalabas yung hangin agad, no? Kasi dilated na siya. Tama? Same ba kayo ng comment sa akin? Yes or no?
Yes. Kaso may nakabarak po kasi.
Okay, may nakabara daw. Okay. So, that's part of the pathogenesis nga of your bronchiectasis. Pero the mere fact na there is dilatation, yun nga, sabi ko kanina, parang mas okay sana yung labas ng hangin, di ba? But then, it's the other way around. Nahihirapan yung hangin na lumabas kahit dilated siya. So, let's talk about that. Bakit kaya nagiging obstructive pa rin kahit dilated yung airway mo. Okay? So as you can see here in this picture, this is the normal bronchus with the normal cell wall and the normal mucus na produced of your goblets, produced by your goblet cells. While in your bronchiectatic lung, it has a damaged cell wall, and as you can see, there is a lot of increased or mucus production for this patient having bronchiectasis. So we'll be dealing on that in a while. Why? Bakit kaya ang daming plema ng mga patients na may bronchiectasis? So this is the major etiologies of bronchiectasis and the proposed workup or test to do, no? So there are just two major etiologies of your bronchiectasis. It can be focal, part lang ng lungs ang problem. It's a single or just a part. While the other is a diffuse one. So diffuse kalat-kalat. Okay? So for your local pattern of lung involvement, this category, examples of under this is obstruction. May it be from aspirated foreign body or tumor mass that obstruct the airway. So for your work up there, you can check for the chest imaging, specifically your chest x-ray or chest CT scan, or kung talagang kailangan sisilipin, bronchoscopy is also done as a workup. Okay? So basta focal, madali lang siya tandaan. Nag-iisa lang or part of the lung is affected. It can be due to a foreign body na aspirated or merong nagko-compress na tumor mass. Okay? Within the airway. Outside or within the airway. Next is diffuse. Pag kalat-kalat yung bronchiectasis ng isang patient sa lungs niya, there are many etiologies. for your diffuse bronchiectasis. And the most common still is infection, may it be bacterial or non-tuberculous mycobacterial. And of course, if it's infection, you check for your gram staining and culture, or if there is AFB positive for TB, or if no pathogen is identified, you can also consider bronchoscopy with bronchoalveolar lavage to test that aspirate, no, on the bronchus. So, most common pa rin ang infectious na etiology for your diffuse bronchiectasis. Others, no, other major etiologies such as immunodeficiency, such as those with HIV infection or konti or mababa ang mga immunoglobulins, infections such as bronchiolitis obliterans after lung transplantation could also be a cause of diffuse bronchiectasis. Okay? And we have also other syndromes, genetic causes such as cystic fibrosis, Cartaginer syndrome, alpha-1 antitrypsin deficiency are also, it can also cause diffuse bronchiectasis. Okay? In a while lang guys, I'll just okay. So, again, for your genetic causes ng diffuse bronchiectasis, in your cystic fibrosis, we can measure the chloride levels in the sweat secretions of your patient for cystic fibrosis. In your alpha-1 antitrypsin deficiency, we can check on the levels of your alpha-1 antitrypsin. And then also in other genetic causes like Cartaginer, no, respiratory or nasal tract brush or biopsy, lalo na yung mga yan, dyskinetic or immotile cilia syndrome. And of course, since these are genetic in origin na sakit, so we can have genetic testing also. Okay? So that's another cause of diffuse bronchiectasis. Another is your autoimmune or rheumatologic causes. Namely your rheumatoid arthritis, Sjogren syndrome, inflammatory bowel diseases, and immune-mediated disease, such as those caused by your aspergillus, which is a fungus, your allergic bronchopulmonary aspergillosis. So, for autoimmune and or rheumatologic causes, usually they have clinical findings such as arthritis or arthralgia or joint pain, no? So, careful joint examination, others, kailangan ng serologic testing to diagnose for your autoimmune disorders such as your rheumatoid arthritis. And for your allergic bronchopulmonary aspergillosis, workup for allergic bronchopulmonary aspergillosis, especially kapag in patients with refractory asthma, no? So kapag hindi gumagaling yung asthma na symptoms ni patient, you need to check baka kailangan mo ng skin testing for aspergillus reactivity. Okay? So kapag hindi gumagaling yung na-diagnose na asthma, you can check for aspergillus infection. Okay? So another cause of your bronchiectasis na diffuse or kalat-kalat na bronchiectasis sa lungs is your recurrent aspiration. Okay? So common ang recurrent aspiration for those who are bedridden, no? Mga elderly, common ang aspiration sa kanila. And the one test that you can do is the test of swallowing function and the general neuromuscular strength of the patient, lalo na sa paglunok, no? And last, you could also have your miscellaneous causes. Example, your yellow nail syndrome, traction bronchiectasis from post-radiation fibrosis, or idiopathic pulmonary fibrosis, no? So this is usually guided by the clinician, and idiopathic, okay, exclusion of other causes, okay? Guys, I'll just have this call and i-plug in ko lang itong laptop.